Wow. So this is Auntie Bella.
Hello. This is a video. I've wanted to do this kind of series for a while, and on Instagram I was like, send me your favourite celebrities. Now, keeping things a bit quiet, I didn't want to give away too much, and this is going to be a series of how I met celebrities, my experiences, and maybe some photos and video footage of the experience if I have that. The two that it came down to was Tom Felton and Helena Bonham Carter. I put up a poll and Tom Felton was the most highly voted, which is ironic because this is kind of where it all began. So yeah, I'll get into stories of two interactions with Tom Felton, one of which is quite a long story. We'll have a few pictures and even an exclusive video footage that me and my sister have never shown this before and have waited for an opportunity to show it, and I think now is about the time. So a lot of you may or may not know that in 2015 me and my sister were on a documentary with Tom Felton called Tom Felton Meets the Superfans. We were initially interviewed at a London MCM event by the crew, and we were just lucky enough to get chosen. The reason I'm wearing Bellatrix is because this is the costume I actually wore on the show and for one of the second interactions with Tom. The interview was just saying why we liked Harry Potter, and I was actually in uni at the time and I received a phone call and he said, hey, I can't remember exactly word for word, but you know, it was something like, hey, we've selected you to help Tom film the segment about cosplayers, and I was freaking out a bit. The BBC organised our train, you know, everything was covered. We were taken up to Birmingham MCM, where everyone has asked me, was it staged? No. Everything we found out on the day. We had a vague idea of what was going to happen. We just knew we were going to show Tom around a convention. We had no idea he was going to turn up in a costume. We genuinely were just told everything as it happened. We knew we would be meeting Tom, we didn't know how everything was going to go down. So obviously we were getting ready in the hotel. They told us they'd like to film us getting ready into our costumes, but they didn't say that Tom would also be getting ready in a costume. We all got ready in the same hotel room. We all got ready in the same hotel room, us and Tom Felton. Just let that sink in. We actually filmed for maybe more than 4 hours, and the segment only lasted about 15 minutes. One part they did cut out, which was the hour-long taxi journey. You know, if anyone has been to Birmingham MCM, or Birmingham in general, the traffic around there is just awful. It's a nightmare. And the hotel where Tom was staying was quite far out. And we were in a taxi with Tom Felton for over an hour. And he was just sharing stories from Harry Potter about working with some of the stars like Helena Bonham Carter. Because I was wearing Bellatrix, he was screwing around with the wand and he was just telling a few stories, which was really cool. Like, you know, not everyone gets to spend an hour in a taxi with Tom Felton. That segment didn't last very long, but if you notice, Tom was drawing random stuff on the condensation of the taxi window, which I will try and get a screenshot from within the show. You can vaguely see it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was funny. But yeah. Oh, and in the hotel, Tom was like, oh, if you got any stuff to sign. But he was more than happy to sign some things for us, so I got my book signed. And yeah, when we arrived at the convention, we did everything as you would at a convention. We arrived outside, no one recognised Tom. It was just putting on the camera, like the microphone equipment, hiding it within my Bellatrix corset, I remember, and we had to wind it through all this. It was a bit crazy, but it was to ensure it looked as normal as possible. My sister was in her Legolas costume during all this because we were told wear a costume. We didn't want to draw attention to ourselves. Like, we knew Tom would be kind of low-key, but she thought we're Legolas because if we're all in Harry Potter, that might draw attention to us. And with Tom's face, you know, obviously they're gonna either think, wow, that's a really good Draco Malfoy cosplayer, or they'll just, you know, catch on straight away that it's Tom Felton, because it was made aware that he would be filming at that event because he had a panel. So we did everything as you do in a convention. We queued up for tickets as normal. We entered the convention, walked around. I actually kept it. It was like a free promo, like corset thing. Someone was giving discounts, and because me, my sister and Tom just randomly got given it, I've just kept that because it's like a piece of memorabilia from the day, I suppose. But you know, kids were asking for photos. It was all genuine. Everything that was there is like people had no idea it was Tom. A few people afterwards reached out to me on Instagram and was like, I can't believe it was Tom Felton and things like that. And you know, some of these people were totally oblivious. They were like, oh, we just thought you were filming for a YouTube video. That was our cover that we created on the day. It was, I think it was my idea. We were saying, oh, we'll just, you know, say it's for our YouTube or something. We're YouTubers. And yeah, so it was only towards the very end that someone recognised Tom's partner at the time that they realised that's Tom Felton, and they were kind of following us for a while, but I think, you know, she wasn't in a costume, so it was her they recognised. I think if it had just been us with Tom, they wouldn't have caught on at all, because genuinely you just think it was some random Joker cosplayer. But yeah, we showed Tom around the convention, we showed him some other cosplayers, we genuinely just took him around to show the cosplay side of things, and we were trying to say to him it's some form of escapism, and it's, you know, a chance to run around in a character you like and stuff, and it was just a chance to show the positive side to the cosplaying community and a way to show why it means what it does to us. Obviously after this it kind of kick-started my want to meet more celebrities, because the experience with Tom was so incredible. I thought, what if there's a chance to have something like this again? And yeah, it really kicked it all off. At the end, Tom went to get changed because he had to have his panel, and Tom still came back out to get a selfie with me and my sister because we realised we didn't get a selfie out of our costumes, so I just ripped my Bellatrix wig off. Like, yeah, let's just go with this trashy look. I'll insert these pictures, but I had a terrible iPhone quality camera, so they're not amazing, but they are memories, so it's a story to tell. When we meet other Harry Potter actors, we always like to ask, did they ever see it? And I don't want to give too much away because in case I do more of these sort of videos, but you know, let me know in the comments, do you want more on which celebrities? It has to be a celebrity that I've met though, because Helena Bonham Carter was the second highest voted. She will be next, so look out for the Helena section. I'll be in this Bellatrix costume as well, probably.
I think I got it. Oh my god, what have I done? Am I shooting a film?
No. Moving on, meeting number 2 with Tom Felton. Kind of 2 and 3. It was the same event. It was a Comic-Con in the summer, so it was very, very crowded, very busy, very hot, and I thought, well, I haven't seen Tom in so many years. I should bring Lucius to meet him and bring back Bellatrix. So day one I took Lucius. I absolutely melted. It was one of the hottest days in London and it was just awful. Now, we didn't get very long with Tom in the autograph section. We had a little bit longer because Tom didn't even recognise us because of the difference in costume. I mean, that's the power of cosplay, I guess. But we didn't get a lot of time. He looked very unwell. He was very hot. They had no air conditioning, no fans. He looked like he was dying, poor thing. And in the photo op, he looked very tired, very unwell. So it was quite a rushed interaction on that very first day. But I did get a little itty bitty Draco and Harry little cardboard peace sign. Well, I'll just show it. I'll put a picture in right here, or a video, I don't know. Me and my sister said at that day, we were like, maybe we should have gone to this other event because we had a better experience at one of those events with interactions. But we just didn't have the money at that time. So yeah, day 2 I took Bellatrix and I thought, well, I've got to bring back Bellatrix. It was the costume he remembers me for. And day 2, it was a lot cooler, obviously, because I think there was less people and it was just a lot less crazy. I believe that was a Sunday, but I can't be 100% because it was a 3-day event and it was just, I wanted to die from the heat, in all honesty. But he was a lot more cheery that day. He instantly was like, wow, you look amazing. It's been so long since I've seen this costume, you know, that kind of thing. And he was super more energetic, so lovely. And he took me to the side after we'd had our photograph and he was like, I want you to come meet my mum. And he was like, look after her and stuff. She was super lovely. He introduced us saying this was the girl I did the documentary with the costume side. And yeah, she seemed super lovely, but the only downside, the convention staff that year at that event were vile. I'm not even gonna get into that, but you know, I wasn't in the way, I wasn't obstructing anyone, I was to the side with his mother, and this very rude person just said, leave now. And I was like, wow, I could understand had I been blocking other people from getting their photograph with Tom, or if I was holding up the line, but I was to the side with his mother who had nothing to do with the photograph, and she, you know, she was out of the way, so it was like, that was incredibly rude. And that entire event I had some major issues with how guests or attendees were treated, so not really amazing, but it was still really nice that Tom was, you know, he was so excited that I brought Bellatrix back after like so many years. And I'll put in all the pictures from that event. You can kind of see the difference in how dead Tom was the first photo versus the second photo. So it's like, yeah, you can really see the difference. And that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this story and little clips of me and my sister and Tom and the photos and whatever. Feel free to leave some comments of any other celebrities you'd like me to tell the story of. I've met good few hundred, so there's a chance if you leave a comment there's a chance I would have met that celebrity. And if you want to hear a story and see some potential footage and photographs and autographs and stuff, just leave a comment, and don't forget, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of thing. Goodbye. Avada Kedavra!